Welcome back to Bluenoses on the Bench. I'm Josh, I'm your host for this podcast, and this is Reece, live in person. He's going to be co-hosting on this episode with us today. Reece obviously had the phone call with us on our second episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's joining us in person today. If for whatever reason we start laughing at each other, it's because us two can't take each other seriously. So, you'll figure out, like, obviously when we're trying to be, really... serious
and professional, mate.
That's the one. I'm fucking burp at the same time. Trump. If we're trying to be really professional and we start laughing, it's because we just can't take each other seriously. So yeah, you'll have to mind us on that.
You have to bear with.
But yeah, we've just witnessed an absolute fucking monstrosity.
I wouldn't say monstrosity, mate. I'd say first half it was promising. I say promising. We were putting a lot of pressure on them. We were forcing them to make mistakes, which was something that we hadn't seen under Rooney. To be fair, we actually hadn't seen quite a lot under Rooney. I'm not going to lie. To be fair, but it was promising. And then when we got the ball, we didn't look too bad. I thought Sunic was a completely different player for that first half. Someone that we hadn't seen for a long time.
Wanted to get the ball, get it out, keep it away from us.
Don't get me wrong, his first touch can be here and there and it can go missing, but there were points in that game where he looked good and he was, I wouldn't say he was controlling the midfield because I don't think he was, but if there was a free ball he was going for it, regardless of whether it was in our half. I was going to swear then. If it was in our half or if it was in the opposition's half, which again we weren't seeing that under Rooney.
We weren't, to be fair. But to be fair, I think the whole team did well. I mean, we had that section in the second half where it went a bit dead and we didn't really do much and we kept it in our half, which I think was ridiculous and we should have played it out a bit more, but we did come back at the end, obviously, with Jordan James's goal.
You've got to consider as well, how long has Mowbray been at Blues now? It's not even been a week, I don't think.
It's his first game.
So he's not... There's certain things that are not going to be the same, so you look at the fitness levels in comparison to a team that's been managed by Rooney into a team that's comparison, with Mowbray, it's going to be completely different, and that's potentially something that will change. We don't know, but I thought it was promising. The best thing about the whole game was Hogan's overhead kick.
Oh yeah, the overhead kick was incredible.
I know he hasn't featured a lot in the last couple of months, but to come in and try that,
well, you know more than anybody. I don't really rate Hogan as of recent, and to be fair, even I said if that went in, I would have took every word back.
I think Hogan, there's a player there. I just think we've got to find out. Well, I think Mowbray's got to find his strengths and weaknesses. I keep chasing down the ball today until he went off. That's roughly what he was doing.
Oh yeah. And
you can't complain at that, to be honest. But then you've got, look at Dembele, look at the game he had. He was by far our standout player. Any single time we had him, had the ball, it was through him and there was a direct threat.
Even that equaliser, to be fair, the equaliser was insane.
Yeah.
A few minutes later and he just took it all on himself.
Well, that's it, because I think you can see in the previous plays that in this game, we were cutting back quite a lot, so were the defenders sort of holding off him for the cutback or what?
No, but to be fair, Dembele did really well. He was our star player of that match. I don't think the points have updated yet, or the board, to be honest.
I think it just looked more free-flowing, and you could see that there was something that we were trying to build toward and work towards too.
But to be honest, I think we would have had a completely different game if it wasn't for the referee that we had. I mean, yellow cards.
The referee was...
He seemed I think he thought that the yellow cards that he was giving out was for fair tackles, not for England.
The further the game went on, the worse the referee got.
Oh yeah.
So look at from the 75th minute to up to when we scored.
Yeah.
The decisions that we were making were ridiculous. There was fouls in there.
The fouls on Tyler Roberts was ridiculous. The fouls on... the whole Buchanan getting a fucking yellow card.
That was ridiculous, mate. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, where you get these referees from, but...
Hogan's yellow card as well. It's just soft. All the tackles soft.
And then Stansfield for, what was it? I think it was dissent.
Yeah.
But I think...
How many did we get in the end? I think
in total, that if you look at it, the game wasn't horrific. We agreed we didn't lose, which is great. We got a point. But the referees, I think they had a fair part to play in that one.
Oh, yeah.
It just wasn't ideal with how they come about it.
Alright, so we've got the match facts here. So as you can see a lot, 20th and obviously 15th.
But there, look, you can see on about the referee, that period of time between the 70th minute right there up until near enough the end until we scored, he was dishing out yellow cards.
Like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a really poor display from the ref, but you can't blame the result, I think, necessarily on the ref.
You can't, no, but
he has an impact.
He has an impact because obviously he can stop it and basically turn around and say, hey, like, listen.
But I don't think, you know, if we would have lost, you can't really say it would have had much of an impact because that's how the game is. There's going to be, you know, we're going to get good refs, we're going to get crap refs.
So let's look at it, right? So we'll be able to look at it on this one. Right, so the first yellow card was Sundic.
Yeah.
Which was at 29 minutes.
That was when he took out. That's when he stopped a counter attack, weren't it?
And then you had Jay Stansfield at 2 minutes into the extra time of the first half.
That was for dissent.
And then the third one was Scott Hogan, which was in the 56th minute, which was the whole.
That was that. Yeah. Which I thought was soft.
Yeah, it was soft. I mean, there was no need for that. And then you had Lee Buchanan's one, which again soft. Jordan James got a yellow card as well. 92 plus minutes.
Oh, that was for that, you know, where the ball got whipped in, and he went for the ball.
Yeah.
But he just caught their player. But I wouldn't, again, you look at about the Sundic and potentially Hogan one, maybe, I don't know. That would be soft. A lot of them were soft.
I mean, all of it was soft. There was no need for the players to be dropping like there was. I mean, watching that was basically like watching a Premier League side. Just jumping around.
If we were so lucky, mate. If we were so lucky. But you look at the first game, the level between Mowbray and Rooney, you can see a clear difference.
Yeah. Right. Even Mowbray was saying, I remember we clocked it, didn't we? He turned around. There was a point where he turned around and he was like, "Oh, it's unbelievable."
Yeah.
He was just saying it's unbelievable.
Rather than
when Jordan James scored, he weren't celebrating with the rest of the fans. He was calculated.
This for him is, you know, obviously it's the bare minimum. You want to get a point, but he knows it's early days. It didn't go, you know, the fairy tale first game for him, but we didn't lose, which is a bonus.
Yeah.
And it's something to work on. He came in straight away on his first interview and said that he's going to work with the players and see what he's got. Whereas there was a clear indication from Rooney that as soon as he come in, right, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen in January. He's going to have X, Y, Z amount of players coming in, and that's what he was waiting for, weren't he? But I'm just glad he never got to see that. I'm
glad he never got the chance, and I'm glad that we have actually got an actual manager with experience, especially in the Championship now, coming in with the January transfer window. I mean, I watched that whole in the press conference for the Swansea game last night, and to be fair, when I was watching it, he was saying, like, you know, I don't think it will be like January now that the transfers will be the most effective. It will be next summer.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I completely agree with. But there's nothing stopping in the recruitment team and him getting someone in for that.
Look at the start of the season, right? How many players did we get in? We got in a lot.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, I don't think we really need to invest in January. I really don't.
No.
Like we said on the previous one, if there's anywhere that we would potentially look at, it's an attacking option, because if you looked at the formation today, which we discussed before, Stansfield was on the right, whereas before he's been a number one. Not a number one, he's been a number 9, not playing number 1 up front. So maybe now that, because Stansfield didn't have a bad game.
No, he didn't. To be fair.
He weren't on the same level as Dembele, but not many Championship wingers are going to be on the same league as that.
I feel like he's more effective up front, to be fair.
Yeah,
if he was going to be put anywhere today, I would have put him where Hogan was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Hogan was good. He pressed, and it was good, and he got the tackles where he needed to be. But the only issue is he didn't have that, apart from the overhead kick, which was on target, which was unbelievable. I will throw it out there.
He's missing that cutting edge.
He's not hitting the target where he's meant to be. He's not. I mean, for a striker over recent seasons, he hasn't got that there for him anymore.
I think there was that season we got him on loan, weren't they? He was scoring. He wasn't scoring for fun, but he was scoring at a reasonable rate.
Yeah, what Reece has just stated there, right? He scored 1 goal in
905
minutes.
Correct.
He's played 18 games, started 9, he's been subbed off... started 10 and subbed off 9. He's scored 1 goal.
Look, but then you've got to consider previous people that we've had in charge. Eustace was a great manager, we know that. Rooney, not so much. Whether Tony Mowbray can work with this, I think it is going to be something we need to look at. Of course it is. But maybe he can get something out of him. Yeah, well...
Jay Stansfield. Played 24 games. Started 22, subbed off 16. 7 goals.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me if you can actually, if you know this, when was the last time that we had a player that scored a decent amount of goals? There's only one person I can think of, and that was Kevin Phillips.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
We haven't had
a strong
striker
no.
since that point.
We haven't had a strong striker like that for a while. I mean, Djukovic here now. Just looking at his stats, he's played 20 games, 459. Right. 2 goals, 1 penalty, 1 right-footed. That ain't updated though because he's headed goals.
Well, yeah, this is what.
So.
But.
It's hit and miss. We need, to be fair, we do need a good striker up front. Jay Stansfield is doing the job at the minute. I would say the other lads are doing the job as well. I mean, especially Juki. Juki obviously comes and does wonders. But what I think it really needs to stick is we do need a stuck-out striker that will dig deep and get these goals that we need.
But then this comes back to the point that I made when I was on the Discord chat. Who is going to want to leave the club where they're currently at? Let's say it's top half of the Championship. Where are we going to find someone that's willing to do that to then drop to Birmingham?
I mean, me being a football player, I think if it was down to me, I'd want a challenge.
You'd want the challenge, but then if you're, let's say, I don't know, Coventry for instance. Coventry had a shaky start to the season. Now look where they are. I think they're either just shy or they're in the playoffs. Beat Leicester today. If you're a striker there, would you come to Birmingham? You wouldn't. If you was Ellis Sims or Hadji Wright, you wouldn't, would you? Because there's just...
I agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying. I think for me, I'm just more like, well, these other teams seem to be regressing, doing well in this, that and the other. And it's like I said to you earlier, we're getting these good players come through the youth academy. But then when we get these players come through the youth academy and they started showing promise, they're just being signed straight back out. Yeah. Jordan James, for instance, now, he's just scored that equalising goal for us outside the box, drilled it straight in the bottom left. He's been saving our ass over the most recent games, I'd say. Yeah. And to be fair, he's just gone, from what we're hearing, he's going to Atlanta. And
this is the thing, it's, again, another conversation that we had during the game was, the amount of talent that we've had that's come and gone.
Yeah.
Nathan Redmond, Tamari Gray, Bellingham, Jordan James, but then it's something that a comment that I made on the call was it's all a business. It's all about money.
Oh yeah.
This game now.
But then that's when Mowbray turned around in that interview yesterday for the Swansea press conference, and he said, when we do have these young players coming through, he understands that we need to sell them, and obviously if it means that it's good for the actual football club where, okay, we sell that player, but it's leaving us in a good position because then we can get 3 other better players in.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But then when we're just selling people for the sake of it and then not doing anything with the money to get these players back or better players back, we're just selling them for the sake of selling them. And this is why our club's sitting where we are at the minute. And to be honest, if it's down to me, I'm going to put it out there, we are lucky to be in the Championship for as long as we have been.
Well, for the last couple of years, we've been sort of favourites to go down. When was it Eustace's first season? Relegation. And don't get me wrong, we weren't far off of it, but...
How many times have we been fighting relegation to actually gain a promotion? In these, how many seasons? 13, 14 seasons?
Well, the first season we were in the playoffs and we lost in the semi-final to Blackpool. And then from there on, it's sort of... Because that was Houghton's first season, the first and only season, and then it's gone from there. And then obviously we went through the managers that we've had, and it's just slowly been declined since then.
Oh yeah. It's just we are sort of just trying to find a stability and an imbalance at the minute, and like I say, until we actually get there, it's not gonna work.
Well, that's it, mate.
So, but I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna. Like I say, we need a good all-out striker now. Like Jay Stansfield's doing well, but then again, you need. I'm hoping Mowbray's tactics come in, and I'm hoping they work, because, like I say, at the start of that game, that Swansea game, we were pressing high, we looked strong, we looked sharp. You know what I mean? I said to you, we looked like Eustace's old team, just with a bit of extra overdrive.
But then again, something we've already brushed up on, it was the high pressing was great, because at one point they couldn't get out of their own half, which was fine, but the second half we then paid the price for that. Because there was a brief 25 minutes, a half an hour stint where it looked like all the energy had just been zapped out of them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until sort of the last
8 minutes.
I'd say that, you know, we were looking promising before. I think from the 85th minute, it was like that second win that we had, which was them pushing and attacking more.
Yeah, they were all over us by that point. Like before that, yeah. Well, we both said, didn't we, after the game, we had to take a little while and just recuperate ourselves, because it's just an emotional roller coaster being a Blues fan.
I was going to say that is just being a Blues fan, though. Nothing is ever easy. Nothing is ever simple.
There's a reason why our songs keep right on till the end of the road.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good game. I mean, for Mowbray's first game, I think it's gave him a bit of an eye opener to what the squad actually like that he's got, which is fair play.
With the right training and the right sort of
and we got a point,
which is going to happen.
Yeah,
you can see it was a promising first game. It really was.
Yeah. You can see where he needs to strengthen it. You can see where he's probably going to think, right, okay, that this is where we need to change things. But at the same time, like I say, it's a good point to get. We haven't lost, we haven't won, we've drew, which is the second best option you can have for.
Yeah, 100%.
And to be honest, going into that thinking, pushing the 85th minute, like you say, we're sitting there thinking, okay, we've lost this. And then as soon as their 8 minutes come in and we saw, like, you know, the boys pushing up a bit more, it gave you that.
There was a definite second win there.
Yeah, 100%. But like I say, I'm just hoping now that it gives Tony Mowbray a bit more of a push. I mean, especially with this FA Cup game. I know we're into the fourth round and stuff. But
well, we're not yet. Because it's a replay.
Is it a replay?
Yeah, because we drew, didn't we?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah. Well, at least like I said though, at least that way now it gives Tony Mowbray his chance to actually look at the team again before we go and play the next league one.
Well, the main focus is the league.
So yeah, the next 3 games that we've got are going to be hard. Obviously, Stoke away, Blues home, and then Baggies away as well.
Yeah,
I mean, Baggies just won 3-1.
Yeah, there's from those games I would maximum. What would be the maximum points you'd take from there? Obviously, I'd love 9, but I'd
love 9.
But the realistic side here,
there's a possibility. I reckon that we could just about win this one with Stoke.
Again, I don't know if I'm being negative or it's just because I'm a Blues fan. I would happily take a point at Stoke away.
Well, after what I've just seen against Swansea, I'd say, I don't know, I'd say I'd give ourselves a little bit more faith in that. Borough, I'd probably say would be a bit harder. And Baggies being a local derby, I think that's going to be hard.
There's thing is though, it always changes with a derby though. You know, look at, I believe it was last season, Hogan got a hat-trick. Hogan got a hat-trick and we ended up winning 3-2. But out of those games, if we could get 5 points, that might be really sceptical and really wishful thinking. If we could get a draw away at Stoke, or potentially a draw against Middlesbrough, I would have, you know, when it comes to a derby, everything goes out the window, form goes out of the window.
Oh yeah. Of course it does. It's scrappy. It's, you know, everyone they're in on each other and stuff. But looking at these fixtures now for all of these, like after Baggies, obviously Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn, Sunderland, Ipswich, Southampton, Hull, Millwall. I think I'd say from up to there, I'd say we could not relax as such, but we could be a bit more, you know.
The thing is with the Championship, as we've known because we've been in it for so long, is that it's unpredictable.
Oh yeah.
It's not like, you know, the likes of the Premier League. You know roughly who's going to be in the top 4 every year. It's not like that at all. We could potentially win any one of those games, but the Championship is a really funny league. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
So this is updated now. So 20th. So really, we need to be winning the next few games because I mean, there's 3 points there, and there is only 22 points for Sheffield, but if we don't start winning some games, we're going to be looking very...
You can always guarantee that with the Championship, when it comes to the time where it matters most, the bottom 3 will pick up points.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It happens every single year, you know. But again, you know, look at Blackburn, top half of the season, Millwall, playoffs, Watford up there, Norwich are normally up there.
I mean,
don't get me wrong, the three teams that came down, 100% you'd expect to be up there.
Yeah.
The one that's catching everyone out is Ipswich, but even they haven't won in their last 5.
No.
So even they're experiencing a dip. So anything can happen.
No, I guess we'll find out when the rest of the games are played tomorrow as well as tonight.
Well, that's it, mate. Only time will tell, but I think now we've got the right man for the job.
Do you think he's going to be a bit more hard on him now from what you've seen?
Well, to be brutally honest, mate, in comparison to Rooney, it couldn't be any worse, could it?
That was a bit of a silly question to ask, wasn't it?
But he's going to have been involved in situations like this. He'll know how to react.
Yeah.
You know, if we'd have lost, he'd have known how to react to that. But the fact that we got a last-minute equaliser, it would have changed it completely. He'll know, again, he has been through I can imagine every situation in the game.
In his 20 years of doing it.
Yeah, he'll know how to react to this. So I think, again, obviously we all would have liked to win, of course it would have.
Yeah.
But I'll happily take a point, and it's something to build on.
I mean, what it says there, look, 7 wins, 8 draws, 12 losses. If we can finish up with a positive ratio, more wins than losses, that would be great.
Well, we can dream, can't we?
We can dream.
The only thing we say, it's just the Championship. Nothing is ever easy.
No.
And especially if you're Birmingham, it's never easy.
Oh God, no, of course not. No, it is a hard life being a Birmingham City fan.
That's why I'm going bald.
That's why I'm getting wrinkles on my head. It's nothing to do with the fact I'm pushing my 30s now.
I'm only 16.
What players do you reckon would be good for our squad?
In what sense? What to bring in?
Yeah. I know we had this conversation the other day and you was like, I'm not too sure, but...
Again, it's what we brushed upon earlier, mate. At the minute...
is that G-Cock still there?
Goalkeepers, look, there's times where Ruddy is great and there's times where he's not so. Etheridge, again, it's all the same. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change any of the goalkeepers, and I wouldn't change the back 4. The only thing that I would probably change is, would you have started Awu or would you have kept Long today?
I would have kept Long, especially with these little mishap that he had when he missed that pass off of Rudder. I mean, they were trying to say it was a heavy pass, but to be fair, it was just laziness. Can't complain
with Buchanan. Fairly decent game. Sanderson always seems to play well. I think when I say always seems to play well, we're not going to get the complete defender in the Championship. They're bound to be mistakes in there.
Of course, yeah.
But I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't change any of those at all at the minute.
I mean, Longfellow, I do like Longfellow as well, but he does seem to have a bit of a hit and miss run. I mean, there was games that he's had at the start of the season where he was strong, and then other games. I feel like Longfellow is better in midfield.
He's He's more of an attacker than he is a defender.
Yeah.
100% definitely. Like going forward, you know that he's going to be making the overlapping run to the winger 100%, all the time.
Yeah.
But then when we're on the back foot, I'm not at ease with that.
No. But I would say Kevin Long over Ava any day.
Only thing is with him, with Longello, is he's got his age. He's only young, so he's got time to progress.
Yeah.
And then the new manager, you've got to consider, will he progress? Will he get better under the new manager and what he's got to bring to the club?
Yeah, 100%. Midfielders, do you reckon we need to boost or anything with that, or Dembele? I love.
I don't. Despite that, I don't think we've got.
Bear in mind we're losing Jordan James. He's gone, so let's cover that.
I don't think there's because the way that we played today was the two holding midfielders, right?
Yeah.
And I know that when Sunic come off, he replaced him with Bakuna, but I don't think Bakuna's that person. Like, he's more of a, you're playing either on one of the wings. Don't get me wrong, he's not ridiculously quick. He's not, but you either play him on the wing or as a number 10.
Yeah.
He's not. I know Bakuna has nearly played every position bar centre back and goalkeeper, but he's not a holding midfielder. I wouldn't say.
I'd definitely say. I mean, Bielik's our probably strongest holding midfielder, I'd say, and Sunic actually.
Well, after the way that he played in the first half, I thought he played really well. So if I was to crack my ideal lineup, right, it would be either the back four that we had today, but obviously I would prefer Laird, but we can't help that he's injured. Would I keep Long in? He's solid. Yeah, I'd keep Long in, and then I'd go with either Bielik and Sunic, or I'd even put in James potentially.
Yeah. I mean, what we've got on here, like I say, he's been great, Jordan James, but the fact that obviously he's going, it's a bit of a downhearted moment.
Well, at the minute,
I mean, Keshi Anderson, to be fair as well, I'd argue that he's up there with. I mean, he's not at Dembele's level, but he's there.
Considering he was, it was a free transfer.
He looked really strong on his trial period.
Well, this is what I mean. You can't complain with free.
No.
There's been games. I think it was the Swansea game where he looked really promising.
Yeah. I mean, he's 28, same age as me.
Yeah, old git.
I'm just fatter. But yeah, like he's played 10 games. He ain't scored nothing, but he's been there. 2 through balls, 1 assist. So I do think we've got a strong. I said to you earlier, we've got a strong squad. We have. They just need the right manager, and now we've got Mowbray in place. I think they have got the right manager. I just need that time to fill out now.
Yeah.
And do it. Yeah.
Right.
But I do agree that the forwards.
This is where the talking point comes.
Yeah.
Hogan, I still do believe that there is a player there. I do. Under the right manager, I do. Jay Stansfield, we don't need to say a lot more about him. We both really like him.
Yeah.
There's a player there for the future, 100%. Yeah. Ollie Burke, I wouldn't really. That's my reaction. Just.
Tyler Roberts the same. I mean, he was on today and he seemed, to be honest, considering this guy, right, this is my beef, considering this guy's been off for near enough pretty much the whole freaking season because of injury, he comes on today and absolutely bodies someone.
I'm surprised he didn't injure himself.
Well, this is what I mean. How are you going to be sitting there and, oh my God, you know what I mean? I just don't understand it.
He needs more frequent game time, and again, is that someone that you'd play just off of a striker? Because I wouldn't look at
on a better day, Tyler Roberts is scoring more than Hogan. That's my view. That's why I'm throwing that out there. I haven't seen Tyler Roberts play, but just going off of what I've seen today, I mean Hogan, okay, his bicycle kick was incredible. I can't fault that. He's pressing today.
Would have been better if it went in.
Yeah, it would have been better if it went in, 100%, man. But Hogan's pressing today was incredible. His tackles, incredible. He's been a lot better of a player today than he has been all season.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Tyler Roberts needs a chance. He needs to prove himself. But I reckon, just looking at Hogan's stats for this season, if you give Tyler Roberts the same amount of time as what Hogan has, he's bagging more goals.
But would you say Tyler Roberts is a forward, or would you say that he plays behind when Miyoshi played today?
This is the issue I've got with being a forward, right? So these two, especially Hogan and Roberts, being a forward, you need to throw yourself out there. You need to, even if it means that you're creating more offsides and they get the ball more, you need to be attempting to get that run on so you can actually score. Hogan and Roberts hold themselves back. They don't actually...
But again, we haven't seen enough of Roberts to make a real judgment of him. He needs to be starting more games. He needs to play more.
From what I've seen from the 75th minute today, or the 60th minute, 65th, yeah. From what I've seen today, he hasn't. He was just passing and then moving. And Hogan does the same.
Which is absolutely fine, but he hasn't started a full game.
Nah.
You've got to go for pre-season, but when it actually matters, he hasn't. Will he start the next? As it's in the cup, will he start the next one? Would you, if you were Mowbray?
If I was Mowbray now,
would you start
for the FA Cup? Yeah.
Where would you play him then? Would you play him as a number? Would you play him as a number 9, or would you play him just behind the striker, or would you play him in a partnership?
I'd play him a strike.
What, central on his own?
Yeah. Just to see what he's got, see what he can do. Because at the end of the day, we know what Hogan can do, we know what Juki can do, we know what Stansfield can do, and Ollie Burke, he's just a brick wall on the side.
I think if I was to choose the front two for the game on Tuesday against Hull, I would play Jukovic and Roberts.
Oh, I'm on about for the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
I'd throw Roberts on for the FA Cup, but for the actual game against Stoke, I'd throw Stansfield up front.
It'll either be between Hogan and Stansfield.
I would actually argue, right, if I was going to do it and we still had the player, I would throw... It's a bit of a wild accusation, right? I would throw Jay Stansfield up front, and in centre attacking mid, I'd put Jordan James.
Well, that was the position that he came on. I believe he was playing come the end of the game.
I think so, yeah. But that's what I mean. I'd literally... Jay Stansfield can get in, he can get around, he's quick on his feet, he can overlap, he'll do the runs. Right. Whatever he can't finish, or whatever, if he gets stuck in a rut, he's got Jordan James to fall back on. And we know Jordan James can
we need someone as well that is able to read the game. Right.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying these guys can't read the game, but let's say we bring Jukovic on. You know what his job is. His job is to either.
He's a target man, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. So his job is to either a flick on, or it's his hold up play.
Yeah.
You know, Lucas Jukovic ain't gonna run through 6 players and bury it in the top corner. You know that.
No.
But when you come on, was he getting the right service? Probably not. There was times where the ball could have been floated into the box, and instead it got passed all the way back to the defence, and we have to start again. It's the decision making which I think today potentially in the second half let us down a little bit.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But again, can't complain. We got a point. It's one of them. It's something that we can think about.
Juki's good. He is good, but I think to be fair, for a lot of time that we have, like I say, if he was to start the game, he might do bits for us. He don't let us down, but
he's a cult hero.
He is a cult hero, but sometimes you need something else as well. Juke is a good man to fall back on when we're out of options. That's why he's played the way he's been played.
Jukovic is one of those players where you know what you're going to get as soon as he comes onto the pitch.
But while we've got someone young and quick, and he's good at laying them in, Jay Stansfield.
This is where it's come to. I've thought about it before, where you would want to play someone like Jukovic with Stansfield, because again, what I've just mentioned, you know he's going to win the ball in the air 9 times out of 10. Yeah. And if he was to read what's going on, he could preempt the flick on, make the run, and then there's multiple options. But it's so easy.
I'd play Jukovic and Stansfield together. If I was to put them both up front, I'd play them both together.
But again, this is where it comes in, where it's so easy for us to say it. you know, we could say absolutely any old try, but these guys have got to actually do it. Whether it happens, it happens.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you don't, it don't. But it's one of them, isn't it?
It is one of them, and that's football for you, isn't it? It's just you don't know what's going to happen. It's the luck on the day. It comes down to whoever's feeling stronger out of the team. I mean, look at Blues, like we said at the start, strong, pressing. Swansea didn't know what to do with themselves. They looked like they still left the score bag on the back of the bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then come down to the middle section of the game, Swansea was holding that ball more. They were doing more with it. Blues looked tired, and then come to the end of the game, we spiked that thing back in again, and then Swansea looked lost again. And this is what I mean. It's just it's down to it's belief. It's belief more than anything. These teams lack the belief. They this is the one thing that I took from Hogan's thing today, which is what I said to you. Rooney wouldn't have said to them, right, play how you want to play this and now. No, I want no fair football. I want it all pressed. I want it attacking. Nothing else. Just press.
Well, we know how that no fair football.
Yeah, and it went shit. Basically, it went shit. But with Mowbray, he's turned around and said in his interviews, I want them to, feel comfortable, express themselves. I want them to play how they want to play, but do it whilst attacking. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, express yourself on the field whilst being, functional. And to be fair, Hogan's bicycle kick today, he wouldn't have done that under Rooney, he wouldn't have done that under Eustace. He would have either hit it first time, like you said, or he would have dropped it to the floor, looked back and passed it. You know what I mean?
Or would have just lost possession.
However, he's seen that ball in the air and he thought, you know what, I'm hitting that over the head. And it was on target.
Yeah, I think... Yeah.
If these players expressed themselves more, we'd be in a lot more better situation. And all I'm going to say is, look at Leicester back in 2015.
Yeah,
look at their team, look how they expressed themselves, look how they pushed. They believed in themselves, and when they believed, they managed to do it. Yeah. The players that are in the playoffs, when they're in the playoffs, they play a lot better in the playoffs than they do all season because they know they've got something to work for, and they know they've got that belief because they're like, well, we're in the playoffs for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to just get in, get deep, and just scrap, and just hope for the best. Like, we picked up a lot of yellow cards today, but like I said, that referee thought it was the yellow cards were for fair fouls.
that referee was awful.
Yeah, he was. But if we had another referee today, I reckon we could have dug in a bit deeper, gave Swansea a reason to be like, oh, okay, they are coming in hard, and just shown them the way that we play. But because of soft referees...
It just seems that we have experienced quite a lot of soft referees.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Like look at Bay, look at Plymouth.
Oh,
that was not a red card.
No.
Yellow, maybe so. But a red card, no, never.
It's just mad. It is crazy. But yeah, at the end of the day, we drew. It was a good game. We dug in when we could dig in, and we scrapped a point from it. And to be fair, for Mowbray's first game, I'd rather take a point, let him reevaluate, than us lose, and then him be like, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? Yeah. At least he can go in now and be like, okay, we might have scrapped a point. However, lads, we nearly fumbled it.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think now he knows what he's working with, he knows what he needs to bring in, and he knows where he needs to pick up. And I think he's going to obviously talk to his coaches and see what goes on. As far as I know as well, he's let Ashley Cole and John O'Shea stay, and he's basically going to give them a fair chance, but I think he'll probably boot them out the door sooner or later, because that defending in the middle section was a bit sloppy, not going to lie. Especially when we were missing the ball.
Well, they were showing a certain standard of how they want to play, and they were adhering to how Rooney's philosophies. With the right man, it could work. It could work. You never know. Again, you never know with this. But obviously, if it doesn't work, then it is what it is. They've got to go. But we'll just have to see what Mowbray. Now that Mowbray's had his first game, we've got the cup to go to. Just go from there.
Yeah. Right, well, that's been our views on, obviously, the Swansea and the Birmingham game.
It's been a stuttered attempt.
A stuttered attempt, yeah. But, if you've got anything you want to add, or if you've got anything different that you feel, then make sure you let us know down in the comments. Make sure you join us on Bluenoses on the Bench as well, because it'd be lovely to see more subscribers sticking around and obviously listening to the podcast. So yeah, hit that subscribe button down below. I'll be entirely grateful if you do. Hit that notification bell as well, just so you can stay tuned with the next episode of the podcast. So thank you to Reece for obviously being here. I know it's been a bit of a struggle, but
yeah, it has.
Done very well. So yeah, thank you to Reece for joining us on the podcast. And yeah, until the next one, take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day, and keep right on.